So today, you've just heard a lot about sleep from Dr. Sapir Khalsa, and so I'm going to talk about um, programs we use in working with children, especially when they're under stress, but even when they're not. We're going to talk about how we use breath, body, mind practices. And these are very simple, and we make them fun so kids like them. We work with children anywhere from about 4 years old all the way up through college. So no matter what age, of course, we use the practices a little differently when they're older to make them age appropriate. So I just want to very quickly review with you some of the main points that I made yesterday, what was it, Sunday, when I talked, if you'll remember. And for that, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see my slides. Okay. Right. So I hope you can see the slides. And basically, these practices have been very helpful for children under stress. We also use them for child refugees all over the world. We've used them in schools, elementary and high. They're very helpful for families, and we can imagine if you're at home with your kids that it's a little bit stressful as their normal routine is disrupted and everybody's getting on each other's nerves. So these practices will help you all day long better and calm your children down, as well as help them go to sleep at night, because when kids are under stress, one of the first things that goes is their sleep. They worry at night, they can't relax, and it's very important that children sleep, because it's during sleep that we heal our minds and our bodies. So if they're not sleeping, they're not healing. This is also very helpful for hospitalized children. So nursing staff can use these techniques and so forth. So just begin. If you'll recall, breathing and emotion are bidirectional. And by changing our pattern of breathing, we can actually change our emotional state rather quickly. And the breathing practices that we use help balance the entire stress response system, and particularly the autonomic nervous system. If you remember, the sympathetic system tends to be overactive and the calming, soothing system underactive. So by using a technique we call coherent breathing, we're able to balance our system. And you can review or go back if you didn't see the talk I gave on the science and so forth on Sunday. Here are some of the main effects of coherent breathing. It turns down defensive reactions. So when you go to talk to your child and you get a negative reaction, anger, clinging, whatever it may be, these are defenses that children have been triggered into defense mode by having so much stress and not feeling safe. So the best cure for that is to use methods that will enable your children to feel safe, to feel connected, loving, loved, bonded, and able to engage with you in a positive social way. So coherent breathing can help counteract the negative effects of emotional isolation on yourself as well as your child. And of course, I hope that you will start or have been doing the breathing practices that my husband, Dr. Brown, showed you, and some that I showed you also in my previous talk, because you need to have that calmness inside yourself in order to transmit it to your child. If you're tense or upset or frightened, that's going to be transmitted. Your child will pick that up, and it's just going to make matters worse. So certainly first do the breathing practices, and when you feel that calm sensation come to you, which comes when you do coherent breathing, then you'll be in the best place to then teach this to your child and transmit it. So the main practice we use for calming is called coherent or resonant breathing. And as I mentioned, different rates of breathing are used for different people. So today we're going to talk about children. Now, for an average adult, the breathing rate is about 4.5 to 6 breaths per minute. And we use 5. It's a good average, and most people do well with that, unless they have respiratory issues. Children who are from about 9 to 18 can do the same rate as adults because their systems are so flexible. For younger children, we slightly increase the rate. And then for the youngest kids, a slight increase. But again, there's a range here. The main thing is that the child be comfortable when they're doing the breathing. And also that they don't overbreathe. They don't take a huge breath in and try to push it all out. This is a gentle, natural breathing. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. Let's see if I can get on. Okay. So, for children between the ages of, I'd say, 4 and 10, and I'm doing this because for the older kids, you can pretty much do everything the way that we showed you in the previous sessions. But for younger children, here are some of the things that we find they enjoy and that work really well for them. First, of course, there's ha breath and the love ha, because these are used to activate them and to focus their attention. So if you want to help them focus on their schoolwork better, be more alert, this is the breath to use. And Dr. Brown demonstrated that for you in his talk. Another very simple breathing that we use, and this helps children calm down quickly and easily. And I'm just going to demonstrate this to you. Very, very simple. We just tell the child to breathe in very slowly and slow the breath down, and you use your arms while you're breathing. It's simply making arm circles, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Follow me. Breathe in gently and breathe out very slowly and gently. Let's do that again. Gently in and slowly out. Good. Gently in and slowly out. And as the breath comes in, you just bring it in up about to here. Don't overfill beyond that. And breathing gently, gently out. Bring the breath in very slowly. Close your eyes if you can. And slowly, gently breathing out. Breathing in, nice and easy. Good. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And notice yourself starting to calm down a little bit. I'm going to suggest that you continue breathing at this rate while you listen to me talking. Open your eyes, but continue with your eyes open. Breathing in. You don't have to move your arms if you don't want to. You can just let them rest. But continue breathing slowly and gently while I continue talking slowly and gently. Another technique that we see used is called magic flower, magic candle. But we do it in a slightly different way. And the idea is that you tell your child that they're to hold up one finger, because this is going to be their magic flower and their magic candle. So when they breathe in, they imagine it's a flower. And when they breathe out, they imagine it's a candle. So first, breathe in very slowly and gently. Because it's a magic flower, you have to breathe it very gently. Some people teach it as a sniff and then a blowout. No, we don't do it that way. It's much more calming if you breathe in very, very slowly and gently through your nose. And gently as you breathe in, smell your flower. And now it turns into a magic candle. But because it's a magic candle, you have to blow it out very softly and gently. So with your mouth, just gently blow out the candle. Gently smell your flower. Slowly blow it out, your candle. Smell your flower. Blow out your candle. Smell the flower. And blow out the candle. Very softly, very gently. Smell the flower. Blow out your candle. And you notice we're teaching coherent breathing, just in a little different way. And the wonderful thing about your flower candle is that you always have it with you, no matter where you are, no matter what's happening. If you need to feel good and you need to feel calm, you just bring out your magic candle flower and you smell it and blow it very gently. Okay? Children like that. Another way that we teach coherent breathing is using what we call an energy ball. And you might have seen other people, other programs use this as well. It's simply, and I'm going to hold my hands up so you can see them, but I want you to hold your hands about waist high, okay? And we'll imagine that we're holding an energy ball. Actually, we can start first by holding the hands above the head for a bit until you start to feel a little tingly in them. And then when they feel a little tingly, bring the hands down to your waist. But I'm going to hold mine up here for you. And now, slowly breathing in, your energy ball gets bigger. And when you breathe out, it gets smaller. Gently breathing in, the ball gets bigger. And gently breathing out, the ball gets smaller. Breathing in, feel the energy ball get bigger. And breathing out, feel you're pressing, and that ball is getting smaller. Breathing in, close your eyes and feel the energy between your palms. Breathing out, make the ball smaller and smaller. And notice the feeling of the energy. Breathing in, the ball gets bigger. And breathing out, the ball gets smaller. If you don't feel it just yet, don't worry about that. A little practice and focusing on your hands, and you will begin to feel the energy ball. And once you have that energy ball, you can begin to play with it. And you can play with the ball by breathing in and making little figure eights, and breathing out. And breathing in, and breathing out. And breathing in, and breathing out. And your energy ball can get very big, or it can get very little. And you can go up and down. So that's a wonderful practice for kids to get creative with how they play with their energy ball. The most powerful, strongest way that we found, the best way, the simplest way to teach coherent breathing, to get relaxed, and especially to use when you want to help your children go to sleep. We use what we call a breathing buddy. And a breathing buddy is a little stuffed animal. It can be any stuffed animal, preferably a small one. And if you have a child with you now, or you bring your child to watch this segment, they might like to have a little breathing buddy with them as well. So what you're going to see is you'll see a little video of me teaching breathing to a couple of lovely children. Now, they're not professional actors, and this is the very first time they've ever done these practices. And so you'll get a chance to see exactly how I teach them, as well as their responses to the practices. So let's begin. lie down and put your breathing buddy on your belly button. That's good. And look in your breathing buddy's eyes, because you're going to help your breathing buddy. You're going to give him a ride. So hold on to your breathing buddy just for a minute. And when you breathe in, let's breathe in, and we give our buddy a ride up. And when we breathe out, we give our buddy a ride down. That's good. Let's try that again. Breathing in, buddy comes up. And breathing out, body comes down. Great. Yes. Now, if you'd like, you can lie your buddy down so he doesn't roll off your tummy. You can hold your buddy, or you can just rest your hands down by your sides, whatever feels good to you. That's great. So we're going to just slowly do our breathing with our breathing buddies. We're going to breathe in. And we're going to breathe out, slowly and gently. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in and breathing out. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes and breathing in, or you can keep them a little bit open. And breathing out and breathing in. Good. And breathing out and breathing in. And breathing out, gently out. Now you notice we're not pushing our bellies, we're not pulling our bellies, we're letting the air give them a ride up as the air and the breath fills up your belly naturally. Breathing out and breathing in. And breathing out. Good. And breathing in. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Breathing out. And breathing in. Good. And breathing out. And breathing in. So don't wake them up, because falling officially means the child has fallen asleep. In, you'll notice that somebody's breathing is no longer in time. They're breathing in their own rhythm. That usually means the child has fallen asleep. So don't wake them up, because falling asleep is the best thing for them. Now we're going to use our imagination to take a little trip with our breathing buddies. We're going to imagine that a great white, soft, fluffy cloud has come down to rest right nearby. You and your breathing buddy get into the cloud and sit down and get comfortable. And the cloud is going to take you slowly, gently up into the bright blue sky. Just you and your breathing buddy. The cloud begins to float you up and up and up to where the sky is clear and blue. It's a beautiful sunny day, but it's not too hot. And there's a sweet, fresh breeze that keeps you cool. It's very quiet and peaceful. You might see a bird fly by. You might see a cloud pass by. It's so quiet. Just you and your breathing body floating and drifting in the clear blue sky. Just float, just drift along. And now it's time to come back home, and your cloud knows where to go. So your cloud begins to drift and bring you back, and you and your breathing buddy can enjoy just lying on that soft cloud, peaceful and quiet, slowly drifting back towards home. And now the cloud brings you down very slowly and gently down to the ground. And you and your breathing buddy come out of the cloud back onto your mats. Where you can take a nice rest if you'd like. You can lie on your back, or if you'd like, you can curl your breathing buddy right up to your neck and lie on your right side. If you want to roll on your right side, you can do that too. And when you're ready to wake up, just stretch like a cat waking up from a nap. Stretch. Now you can tell who's asleep because they don't know they're supposed to stretch. You might have to wake him up. Let's see. Oh, here it comes. And just stretch. And when you're ready, sit up. Right. You feeling refreshed?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so it's so simple. Anytime. And the children can learn to put themselves to sleep with your help. So we've had a nice little nap and refresher. And I'd like to ask you kids to tell us what it was like to breathe with your breathing buddies and the whole thing. What was that like for you?
I feel like my breathing buddy, he made me feel more comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I could fall asleep easier with like calming down and doing breathing and stuff. And then when I fall asleep, I just breathe however I want. And it was really comfortable. When you were talking about like the cloud and going on a trip, I imagined it in my mind like a dream. And it just felt really nice. Like in my dream, I felt the breeze keeping me cool, and it was refreshing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Would you like to take your breathing buddy home with you when you go? Want to take your breathing buddy home? Absolutely.
Yes.
I think he'd miss you if you didn't. So, Leon, how was that all for you?
Me, I thought I really felt that helped me a lot because I would do it like really like I fell asleep really quickly. So when we were first doing the stretching and that was definitely like the first stretch. You do that right, probably that's like the first thing that sets you off. Like so.
Doing the 4-4, you like that?
Yeah, when I first did that, it's like okay, I'm shutting down. I'm gonna go to bed. So when I did this, the sleepy buddy just pushed you over and I fell asleep.
So doing the 4-4 got you ready to go to sleep, and then you just needed a little bit with the breathing buddy and you were out like a light. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could tell because your tummy was doing sleeping breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the people you see on the screen are Samir Mansour, who is the founder of No Limit Generation, And then there's Emily, Leon, and Haley. There's Dr. Brown and myself. And here's Martha and Bill Benedict, who founded our program in working with children. They're extremely helpful in developing a lot of the practices that we use. Okay, so I want to thank all the people that have helped us work with children. And I think we just have a little bit of time left. So unfortunately going to have to zip through the rest of this of my slides. But basically, I did want to mention No Limit Generation, the website No Limit Gen, and you can see all of these slides when they're posted. Basically, they are providing breath, body, mind to child refugees, particularly in Bangladesh, but other places of the world. And they use our breathing practices, as do many others who work with children who have been severely traumatized. And can you see my slides still that I'm showing you? Let me put on chat. Okay, and well, I'm not sure if you can see them or not at this point, but in any event, you'll be able to see them when they're posted. You can't see them. Okay. All right. I'll just tell you about them then. What I'd like to do, just for the next few minutes, because we're going to have to end soon, is to tell you that we have quite a few teaching videos, like the one that you just saw. And if you'd like to see more about working with children, there are two places where you can find them. First, we're going to be putting up a lot of our teaching videos for free on our website, breath-body-mind.com. You'll be able to see more there, as well as there are already a whole bunch of them posted on No Limit Gen, nolimitgen.org. And that is the website for the organization that works with refugee children.
Excuse me, Dr. Gerbarg.
Yeah.
We need to go because it is 5:02, but what I'd like to invite our attendees is that if you would send me all of those wonderful links and resources, we'll put it directly under your YouTube video. So
Yes.
when they go to the HealthFlix YouTube video, they'll be able to get to the resources. And if you want to send me the slides you're mentioning, I can put those up for you as well. So, and we really want to thank our attendees for our wild and crazy entry this morning, right?
That's all part of the life we live these days.
It sure seems to be. So
keep breathing, and hopefully your children will enjoy this too, because it's all about the children.
it is.
That's it. I'm a mother and a grandmother, and for me, it's all about the children. So, goodbye.
So thank you so much.
Sure.